Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video we'll be making some fudge brownies. These are way better than store-bought brownies. They're homemade, they're fresh, and they're also really delicious. And this is a very quick and simple recipe. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into this. Now first thing we need is 3/4 of a cup of melted butter, which we're going to show, which is around 180 milliliters of melted butter, as you can see right here. Now we're just going to transfer that into a bowl. It has to be pretty hot. And after that, we're going to match that with 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder. So we want the same amount of melted butter as we're going to be putting in cocoa powder. So we're struggling to get all of it in, but yeah, we're going to get all of the cocoa powder into the cup, and then we're going to add it into the bowl. And then we just want to mix that very well before we add our other other ingredients. So yeah, we are adding in our cocoa powder, and then we're just going to whisk it. You can use a spoon, you can use a whisk, you can use a fork. You just need to mix it pretty well. You can see it's turning into a dark blackish chocolate color, and that's what we want. So we want to mix this for around 2 to 3 minutes before we adding our next ingredients. So as you can see, it's starting to turn pretty black, and then now we're gonna also add 3/4 of a cup of flour. So we need the same amount of butter, cocoa powder, and flour for our batter. So we're gonna use a sieve, and we're gonna sieve the flour so the chunky bits just don't get into the mixture. So we're gonna add that, then we're gonna mix that really well as well. We want to have a good light color, lighter than this because of the flour. Then we're gonna be adding in our other ingredients after. Now this is a very simple recipe, as I said before. Now we're gonna be adding in 1.5 cups of sugar. You can add any type of sugar you like. We use white sugar. So we just want to add 1 cup, and then we want to add 1/2 cup of sugar. We can add a little more if you like, if you don't find it very sweet. And now we're going to crack in 3 eggs. We want the yolks and the whites. We want whole eggs. We want to crack in 3 whole eggs. And then we're going to give that a really good mix. So it's not mixed really well right now, but soon it's going to be mixed all together, and it's going to be mixed really well. And it's going to turn into that type of color. Now we're adding in 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla essence, and we're going to mix it really well. And then yeah, this is basically our batter. Now we're going to be adding in 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. So yeah, for our tray, we're going to first spray it with some oil, and we're going to brush it just like with anything you're baking, that you just don't want it to get stuck on the tray or the pan. And you can use a wider tray than this. We used a small tray, that's why it puffed up a little too much. But you can use a larger and a wider tray, so you get more smaller and even brownies. So now we're adding in 1/2 cup of our chocolate chips. These are just chocolate chips you bought from the store. You don't really need to make them homemade. They're much easier to just buy from the store. First, we're transferring our wet batter first. Then we're going to be adding in our chocolate chips, and then that's going to go in the oven. So we want to make sure that all of the brownies get an even amount of chocolate chips everywhere. We just don't want one side to get all the chocolate chips. And now we'll be going into the oven. This goes into the oven for 180 degrees for around 20 to 30 minutes. And after it's done, you can even do it to 40 minutes after it's crispy on the outside, and yeah, it's yummy on the inside. So after we've done that, now we have some soft icing mixture, which you're just gonna top it off. You can also use powdered sugar. We're gonna use a sieve to do this so it spreads evenly. And that's our recipe. It's a very simple and a very delicious recipe. Now with a knife, we're gonna be cutting into squares, since that's the shape of most brownies. You can see it's puffed up, the chocolate chips look melted, and the brownie is crispy on the outside and gooey on the inside, which is what you want. And that's your recipe. Now we have some Bola chocolate mint chocolate chip ice cream, which we can just top it off with, so it makes a better flavor combination. So now we're gonna add some of our ice cream into the bowl. We're gonna top it off with some ice cream, and then we're gonna have a little taste test. So we want 1 scoop of ice cream with some brownies. Now we're gonna have a taste test. Then take a little bit of the brownie, take a little bit of the ice cream, and then we're gonna rate it. It was a very yummy recipe. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And remember to share this video with all your friends. And yeah, goodbye.